Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Spencer.
I'm Mike.
And this is Board Game Rundown, and today we're going to do a review of Things in Rings from Allplay. This was given to us at Gen Con for review. Very excited about it. And we do have a playthrough video if you'd like to see how that goes. We play through the whole thing, but I'm going to give you a really quick rundown of how to play. So basically what's going to happen is you can put up to 3 of these rings out. If you do have them overlapping in case words cross over between the two, then you're going to draw a card for the knower. The knower is going to draw a card for each one of the rings. So we've got context, attribute, and word. And then they're going to secretly, I'm going to have mine face up, but they're going to secretly look at these. They're going to look at their hand of cards, and then because they're going to have 5 cards, and they're going to assign 1 card or they're going to assign 3 cards, basically 1 for each ring. But if you don't have one, you could put it in the none section and just be like, we don't have anything for word. But for in this example, my word has to have 1 syllable. So maybe I put blood, right? So I put blood in here. Now they don't know why I'm putting blood there. They just know that that's their clue for the word. Then I've got weighs more than a chair. I've got coffin. I'm going to put coffin over there. And then you expect to find it in an office, a clock, because whether it's a time clock or you're just watching the clock so you know when you can go home. Oh, look at you guys putting it there. Has 1 syllable. So there's your overlap. That's a really good example. Then everybody's going to go around. They're going to play 1 card from their hand. If you play 1 card and you've placed it correctly in one of these spots, even in none, then you get to play another card. If they play it incorrectly, the knower, me in this situation, is going to put that card in the correct spot, and then that person has to draw a card, and then the next player goes. First one to dump your hand wins. Mike, give us an example.
Yeah, so just for example, and of course I wouldn't know what the clues are, but let's say I threw scissors here. Tim would go, yep, that's in an office.
Yep.
And then so I'd get to go again.
Yes.
And then let's say I put window over here.
No.
Crap.
Boo. But it might go over here, right? If you think that window weighs more than a chair. But
Correct.
you could just keep it very basic. It's a dealer's choice,
And
really.
then since I was wrong, I draw another card.
Right. And that's
it.
That's how you play the
my
game.
turn.
It'll go several rounds, especially if you're playing at like a higher level with the more. So super important to keep in mind. The more rings you have, the harder the game is going to be. Then there's 3 different levels of difficulty: easy, medium, and hard, or difficult. And then those will also exponentially increase the difficulty of the game. So just depends on your group and what you're doing. If you're playing on easy with like 2 rings and that's too easy,
Yeah, add a ring or take higher stars.
yeah. Yep. And then you could do like we did, where we jumped right into the deep end and we did 3 rings on difficult, and it was
hard.
difficult. And we're good at these kind of games.
Usually.
So
But that was hard not just for you guys, but it was hard for me trying to figure out where they go.
yeah, we shouldn't have made you the knower the first time. Took a long time for you to figure out where that needed to go. Just picking on you though, because there's a lot going on. Even with mine, right? And I was doing on easy and on our full playthrough. You've got to just make some decisions sometimes where it's like this time it applies, this time it doesn't. And as long as you justify it later when everybody's really mad at you for
Why'd you put that there?
Well, yeah, at one point
For
I
them
put
being
This
down,
doesn't have
wrong.
stripes on it. My glasses have stripes right now.
yeah, at one point I put down one. I'm like, I'm going by the picture.
Oh, sure. And I tried to say earlier on I was going by the word, not the picture, but it is what it is. And that's how you play Things in Rings. Bob,
Yes.
what'd you think of Things in Rings?
I enjoyed it. I like word games. I like the trying to figure out the association. It was very difficult, to start out with, because we did start with a more higher complexity. But I can see we definitely have some fun with this. We've played some games similar to this where there's the rings involved and you're trying to the crossover. But I think that was a color-based one, which not my cup of tea.
Yeah, Venn. Venn was that one.
Yeah, but with the words, I would say not a problem, because I still had a hard time figuring out where the words would go.
Yeah, but not due to any.
But not due to the design of the game. It was more of a me problem.
Yeah.
It's a head problem.
Spencer.
Yeah, I usually really like these kinds of games, especially if it has anything to do with words. I like them. It was relatively fast. Our first game was probably the longest one we had, but it was also the hardest difficulty we did. And honestly, it says it's 8 and up?
6.
6 and up. And I will say maybe 8 and up for the easy mode. But for that hard mode,
Yeah.
100 or older.
I could see like just doing the one ring right on
Yeah.
easy mode for because that way if you're just doing one syllable or two syllables, you're trying to get them to
You
figure
could definitely
out.
make this educational. That's
Exactly.
true.
Yeah.
So I did enjoy it. Yeah, there didn't seem to be any glaring errors that I could see.
Mike.
Yeah, this is clever. I like that this is a 20-minute game that supports 6, which I always like trying to find not just party games that support 6, but more strategic games. And for this being what I would call a party game, there's a lot to think about, which is kind of an interesting mix of a game. You don't always find games that have this simple of a rule set that give you this much to think about. This is a lot more difficult than it looks when the clues are available for you to see. It's tough. I went the first 2 games without getting rid of a single card. So
And-
I like this.
And
though.
you'll find it where you're very close, right? It's like you place here,
Yeah.
but really it kind of needs to go there. You know?
Yeah, and like when you first put this one down, I would have assumed with clock and blood, oh, it's got 2 of the same letters. Then you put window down and it went over there. I'm like, well, I'm throwing out everything I know.
Right. Right.
That happened like 4 times in our playthrough that we had. I was like, oh, I know what it is. Oh, wait, no, wait, that breaks the rule. That's not it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, it's some of it is subjective based on the knower's opinion or interpretation of the card. I found this really enjoyable. I kind of at this point expect nothing less from Allplay, right? Like most of their games that
Seriously.
I put down on the table are a pretty good time.
Yeah.
And they're especially their little small box series. It's really nice because you can have a bunch of them and they don't take up a ton of space.
That's
They're
it.
easy to travel. Lots
Ease
of
of
bang,
entry.
lots of bang for your buck in this one. I really enjoyed it. I do think mileage may vary depending
yeah.
on group.
Definitely.
But again, simplify it. If there's people that are just aren't as into it, right? Just dumb it down. And if it's like, oh, well, that was too easy. Well, let's throw in some more.
I would almost say put a timer on the table if you have someone who has analysis paralysis.
Sure, you could do that too.
And that actually might, be kind of an interesting addition.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go.
Right, just throw one down. But that timer is also for the knower. Like assign that dang
Yeah,
card
exactly.
somewhere. Figure it out. But no, this was a really good time. I enjoyed it. This is right up my alley. All right. We should rate this game, boys.
Okay.
Mike,
It's Mike.
how do we rate games at the Board Game Rundown?
On the Board Game Rundown, we rate games from 1 to 10. Technically 0.5 to 10 because we do use 0.5s, although we've never scored a game that low. But we average them all together and then we give you one rundown score that we put on BGG, Discord, and elsewhere.
Mr. Hooper,
That's me.
what do you give Things and Rings?
7.5.
All right. Spencer,
I am going to give this one a 7.
Mr. Mike.
7.5, I recommend it, and you should consider putting it in your collection.
I'd put this at an 8. I forgot to mention also, I really appreciated sort of the Seussian Dr. Seuss
Yeah, that was a nice
style
one. Yes.
art. It's
The
a nice
art's
touch.
cool.
It's a nice touch, and it's sort of that play on Things and Rings. Yeah, this is a game I'm going to get a ton of plays out of. I really enjoy it, and it's small, travels easily. If Mike were like going to like, I don't know, Alaska, he could take this game pretty.
I could.
Check your bingo card.
But if you take all our scores and we average them together, 7.5. It sounds like Mike and I were right.
Yep.
Ugh.
Definitely.
I feel weird about this now. No, this was really good. If any of this stuff we talked about described to you sounds interesting, it's definitely going to be worth checking out. And again, just going to go out on a limb and say that if you like this, you're probably going to like a bunch of the other games from Allplay. Not that they're all the same, but they do sort of have the same vibe, fun, easy breezy play style.
Yeah, ease of entry. Like the rule
Yeah.
book is. Yeah,
You
a
don't need
lot
the
of
rule
fun.
book. Watch our our playthrough, and you'll know how to play.
that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, also true. But yeah, that was it. And thank you again to Allplay Games for giving us this review copy. And for the Board Game Rundown, I've been Tim.
Bob.
Spencer.
I'm Mike, which is one syllable. I weigh more than this chair, and I'm often found in an office.
Oh.
You got it. And you can say the title's only 3 words.
Well done, Mike.
I was setting that up the whole time.
Very nice.
Well done.
I quit.
Yes!
Also setting that up.
Yeah, right.